Hey, I'm getting ready to go in for my deportation hearing. It's been a while, 2 years, that's for sure. Um, and people were very skeptical that when he said he was going to deport 20 million people, that was actually going to happen. But it did happen. At first, it started with people who were here criminally and who were committing violent crimes, and there were these violent raids, and the footage was horrendous. And then they started going after families, and they did deport entire families of people, some legal, some who are here undocumented, and they just deported the whole family. And people sat on planes, on tarmacs in countries because the country said that we're not going to take them, these essentially citizens of nowhere. And there was a plane that landed in Mexico City, and Mexico said, we are not taking these people. And the administration in America said, you are taking them. And it was like a standoff, and so they could not leave the plane. And so I think it was 15 people died on the plane just waiting in the heat. But anyways, then what happened is they started building these detention centers, and I mean, I could make a whole other discussion about that. But then what started happening was people who were, opposed to the administration, activists, progressives, leftists, socialists, LGBTQ, the State Department began to start sending out letters, and the letters were very peculiar. You had to report in. And what happened was they started going back into your family's history. And what they did is they sort of ended birthright citizenship. And so if you were born in the United States, what they would do, and what they did for me, is they went back 2 generations to find out my great-grandparents gave birth to my grandparents, and they were not natural citizens, so my grandparent was not technically a natural citizen. That meant, like, all the way down the line, and they said that I am not a natural. I was denaturalized. I was denaturalized as a citizen. And so now I have a hearing to find out what happens to me. I'm currently a citizen of nowhere, and my lawyer, I've literally sold everything to pay for my lawyer, and he has encouraged me to take a deal which is like a year of service for naturalization. So it's called NTS, naturalization to service. And so I would either go in the army or I would go to work at a labor camp. But I don't really want to do that. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. And I guess, like, what I'm most nervous about is, like, because of the volume of people being deported in this country, being denaturalized, you don't just have one trial with one judge or jury. There's like 30 people. Like, 30 people go up to a judge at a time. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to have a lawyer. Most people do not have a lawyer. And my lawyer feels confident that this judge is reasonable, but honestly, like, it's hard to say, and I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where to go. Some people in my family sort of disavowed me like I was a criminal, even though I didn't do anything wrong, and I just went to a couple of protests. Tried to find, like, people in Finland or Norway who are, like, distant relatives, but I don't have anyone. I don't know who to reach out to. I don't know where to go. Like, I don't know where to self-deport myself to, because no one's taking American citizens or now non-citizens. And the thing that just keeps, like, going through my head is, like, everyone said this wasn't really going to happen, but it's really happening.